So how are you all? This is your computer science teacher Chaitra from Mangala Vidya Mandira. So in this class we are going to learn about Photoshop CS6, that is Adobe Photoshop. It's a Photoshop that they're going to make from the released. It's a software released from the Adobe systems. So the Adobe here in this chapter we are going to learn about the Adobe Photoshop. What is Adobe Photoshop? Then workspace, menu bar, tools, palette, color mode and image adjustments, adjust colors using level, brightness and contrast, color balance, hue and saturation. Then let us start with the Adobe Photoshop. So everyone likes photos, right? So the photo should look clearly clear and all the marks on the face should go, and we should look like whenever we see our photos, it should be nice. So all these things are done in the system using this software, particular software. So let us continue with Adobe Photoshop. So what is Adobe Photoshop? Adobe Photoshop is a graphic editing program. So it's a graphics editing program. So all these are graphics made. So which we are going to editing program developed by the Adobe systems. So Photoshop is an image processing software which can create masterpieces. Yes. So it's an image processing software. What is Adobe Photoshop? That is, Photoshop is nothing but a image processing software where we are going to change the image according to our likings or however we want. So Photoshop is an image processing software which can create masterpieces. Yes. Once image put into the Photoshop, it can be retouched, painted, sharpened, rippled, etc. We can enhance the beauty of a image. So here, once the image is put into the Photoshop, it can be retouched, as you can just change the image. It can be painted again if it is not come clearly. Then it can be sharpened. Yeah, we can look. It can be made more bright so that our face looks glower. Then rippled, that is making some other changes. We can enhance the beauty of our image, so that when we do all these changes, then the beauty of image will get enhanced and it looks much nice and beautiful. So next let us see what is the workspace. So if you just open the window of Adobe Photoshop, then if you're going to just click on the Adobe Photoshop, double click, and you get a window like you get application bar, you get options bar, document tab, then document window. Next is toolbar, you get some tools, and this is the workspace bar, and these are the workspace option with the scroll bar and the status bar. So this is the this looks like a canvas, right, where we are going to do some painting or any image processing. So here we get some other tools bar is there, so that we can use these tools to change the or process the image or to change the attributes of the image. Then the workspace bar is there. So this also leads to some of the changes of the image. Then there are some other options, extra options are given with the scroll bar. We're going to scroll it up and down. Then we're going to see the status, whether it's active or inactive. So Photoshop work area mainly concentrate on creating and editing images. So we are mainly concentrate on creating the image and we are going to edit the image. So this window contains, or this workspace contains, menu bar, options bar, toolbox and palette. Palette is the color palette. Hope you all know, if you have done the drawing, you'll keep a palette, right? Color palette. The same thing is also there here with different colors. So this comes the menu bar. You can see the menu bar there. It has file, edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D, view, window and help. So this is nothing but the menu bar. Contains menu for performing different tasks. So let us continue with other options. That is options bar. Here you can see the option bar. So contains options for using the tool. Whether you want to use this tool, then you get some more options. So if you don't want to use this tool, which other tool you want to do. So like this, some options will be available. It is context sensitive. It is as you select a different tool. So it is context sensitive. What do you mean by context sensitive? All the tools are not same. So all the tools have their own properties which will make changes to the images. So taking one tool and you can't make all the tools don't work similar. It depends on how you want to change the image or how you want to process the image. So next, tools palette. You can just see the tools palette. So there is color palette also, there is tool palette also, where you can take different tools there, where you can mix different colors. So here you have some tool names and the tool name, and this is the shortcut keys for the particular tool. So these are all the tools we are going to use in the Photoshop. That is lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, magnetic lasso tool, clone stamp tool, palette pattern stamp tool, pen tool, freeform, add another anchor point, delete anchor point, convert main tool, horizontal type tool, then vertical type tool, horizontal type mask tool, horizontal type mask tool, then vertical type mask tool. So it's a small triangle at the small triangle at the lower end indicates some more tools are there. So when you can see a small triangle at the end of the tools, that indicates there are some more tools, that is there are some more options you can just choose. So tools option on the window menu helps to hide or show toolbox. To move the tool, drag on the title bar. Next, you can just see the tools panel overview. This will be very helpful. So it has a selection tools which has move, rectangular mark. In that also there are sub tools. Then lasso tool is there. Quick selection is there. That is your magic wand. So all these are the tools within tool. They are called as sub tools. Next is crop and slice tools. Yes, we need to crop the images, correct? Sometimes the images won't be nice. We want only our face to come. So what we do, we crop all the other things that are there next to us. So it's a very important tool. So crop tool, then slice tool, then measuring tools. Yes, eyedropper 3D. So if the image wants to come in 3D, then we have to measure. So where we can put the 3D image. So next, retouching tools. Yes, this is the major thing for everyone. We need to little bit touch up for the photo is needed, so that we can enhance the look and we can see more brighter. Then we have painting tools, that is we can paint according to our liking. Then we have drawing and type tools. Type is for the text, writing the text in between the images. And then navigation tool, that is to zoom it or to rotate the view, everything comes under the navigation tool. And drawing tools are nothing but your rectangle tool, polygon tool, elliptical, line tool, all this comes under the drawing tools. And type tools, your horizontal typing or vertical typing. If you want to write a horizontal way, you can choose horizontal type, and if you want a vertical way, you can choose the vertical type. So then next you have retouching tools like patch, you have red eye, spot healing, so that all the scars on the face will go. So all these things comes under the retouching tools. Now let us see about the color palette. So this is the color palette. You get different colors. So color palette displays the color for the foreground and the background. Foreground is the front color and the background is the back color. So this is called as color ramp. What do you mean by ramp? Where colors goes walking. Yes. So the colors, you can choose different colors here. That's nothing but the color ramp. Next is move tool. So let us come to the tools one by one. The move tool allows you to move a selection or entire layer by dragging it. So what do you mean by layer is particular part of a picture is nothing but a layer. So if you want only this particular part, then you can choose the particular layer of the picture. No need to choose whole of the picture. You can choose some part of the picture. By dragging it with your mouse or using your keyboard using arrow keys. The move tool is located at the top right of the Photoshop toolbox. So when the move tool is selected, click and drag anywhere in the image. By default, if an area is selected in the selection will be removed. Otherwise, the whole layer will be removed. So you can move from one place to another place using this. So if you don't select a particular image or a particular part or a layer, then the whole image will be moved. Next is mark tool. You can just see the mark tool here. You have rectangular mark tool, elliptical mark tool, single row, then single column. So this is a rectangular mark tool. The mark selection tool is the most basic way to interact with the objects in the Photoshop, allowing you to draw a shape or one pixel line that selects any objects inside its dimension. You can just see in the image. So you can just, original selection is this, news location is this. So you can just select the tool and you can interact with the objects, or allowing you to draw a shape like rectangle or a elliptical. Next is lasso tool. Lasso tool is used to select both straight edges and the freehand segments. So you can just see here, you can choose a straight edges, or you can choose the freehand segment. So there is a polygonal lasso tool and a magnetic lasso tool. Click on the lasso tool and click on the move. See that in the image is moved here. From here to there, the image is moved. Next, polygonal and magnetic lasso tool. It allows us to easily draw freeform selection outlines based on the straight-sided polygonal shapes. It allows us to easily draw freeform selection outlines based on the straight-sided polygonal shapes. It is used for selecting straight edges segments. So that is polygonal magnetic lasso tool. Magnetic lasso tool is used to select objects with the complex edges. So this polygonal shapes, we can you choose for only polygonal polygon, wherever you get a polygonal shape, we can choose this polygonal shapes tool. And freeform selection is for the straight edges. If there is straight edges, we can choose the freeform. If there is not straight edges, if there is very complex edges which we can't even see with our eyes, then we have to choose magnetic lasso tool. So all these are the things which helps the picture or image moving. Next, let us learn about magic wand tool. Yes, you know what is a magic wand, right? It makes some magic. So similarly here also the magic wand tool here. The magic wand tool lets you to select a consistently colored area, for example a red flower here. Without having a trace its outline, you specifically color range or tolerance for the magic wand tool selection. The magic wand cursor changes depending upon the option. So you can select a magic wand and you can just move or you can make changes wherever you want. So for example here they are given a red flower. Without having to trace its outline, you can specify the color range. You can make the changes to the color giving like a magic, like if there is red flower, you can make it as a yellow flower. So if there is a red flower, you can make it as a green flower. So all these things are magic. Sometimes we see in the internet also, if the image is in blue color, they make it in some other colors. So these are the things that can be done using the magic wand tool. It creates some magic on the color. Next is the crop tool. This everybody knows what is a crop tool. Cropping is a process of removing unwanted portions of an image. So you can just choose a crop tool. This is original image. Select the area with the crop tool. So you have to select this and you have to I want only this picture. So I don't want other pictures, so that I can crop and I can put it. However, the display picture in WhatsApp or a Facebook, we'll just crop it and we can just put it only our faces. So like this you can do a lot of changes to the image. Next is the clone stamp tool. Clone stamp tool takes a sample of the image which can be applied to the next type. So it just make a clone of it. That is clone stamp. You know, stamp is like you're going to place the same thing again towards the right side. So here clone means the similar image gets copied to the other part. So that is nothing but a clone stamp tool. Next is pattern stamp tool. So I have seen the different patterns here. This tool helps in pattern creation. So all ready patterns will be available. So this tool helps in creating the pattern. Next is the eraser tool. Everybody knows this from the beginning while learning from the paint. They know what is eraser tool. I think from grade 2, you know eraser tool. Eraser tool is nothing but the tool which we are going to erase the unwanted part of an image or an entire image. So basically it's a brush which is used to remove the unwanted part of a picture or a whole image. So if you want to remove some of the unwanted part, you can take the eraser tool and just erase it. So or else if you want the whole image has to be erased, then you can just erase whole image, or you can just delete the image. Next is blur and sharpen tool. So you know what is blurring of image and what is sharpening of image. So blur tool softens the hard edges. Sharpen tool sharpens the focus on the soft edges. So what is hard edges? Blur tool softens hard edges. So blur means we don't want some hard edges are the edges where the image is not seen clearly. So the image we won't get is not seen clearly, and this sharpen tool is the soft edges are the image which are seen clearly. So I'll repeat it again. The hard edges are the edges where the image is not seen clearly, whereas the sharp edges are the edges sharp tools that is sharp edges are the edges where the image is seen clearly. So what we have to make, we have to blur the images which is not seen clearly, and we have to sharpen the image which is seen clearly. So this is same happened in the image here. So we have sharpened the image which is seen clearly, and we have made the image blur where the edges are not clear. So next is smudge tool. Smudge tool simulates the action of dragging the finger through the wet paint. So you can just see here where we have just mixed the image. So we have just mixed the colors. So this becomes a smudge, like it is mixed thoroughly. This you can see in the image. So this is the grapes, I think. So it's smudged here. You can't be able to identify what is the image. Next is dodge and burn tool. The toning tool consists of dodge and burn tool. So it is used to lighten or darken the areas of the image. Yeah. So mainly this tool is used to lighten or darken the image. So if the image is too light, you can make it as dark, or the image is too dark that you can't be able to see the face clearly, then you can make it little bit light so the face seems to be clear. You can just see in the image the burn and the dodge tool. So I have given a nice example here. It is based on a traditional photographer's technique for regulating exposure specific area of print. So this is nothing but a regular photographers what they do particularly. So the same, they give some enhancement to the particular area where it should look bright, and they remove some of the brightness where the area on the image that it should not be highlighted. So next is brush and pencil tool. This also I think you know from the beginning classes, that is brush tool. It's used for the brush, and pencil tool to write. So the brush tool and the pencil used for drawing and the sketching. So you can just see here, these are the brush tools and these are the pencil strokes. So brush tool creates a soft stroke of color, while pencil tool creates a hard edged lines. That is, hard edged lines means the edges will be very thicker. So the lines you can make little bit thick. So next is the gradient tool. You know gradient, where two images are mixed here. It's a blend between the multiple colors. So gradient tool creates a gradual blend between the multiple colors. You can choose from the preset gradient fills or create your own. So preset is already there. These are the gradient tool. It's a gradient fills that is already present. So you can choose that gradient fills, or you can just create your own. So next is paint bucket tool. You know this, yes, this is a paint bucket tool. It consists of paint where we are going to paint inside an object. This tool fills continuously the colored area with foreground color or a pattern. The paint bucket tool is used to fill an area with a single specific color or a hue. Next, eyedropper tool. This tool helps to select a sample color or to designate a new foreground or a background color. This tool helps to select a sample color. So it's nothing but like a filler. You can just take a little drop and you can just paste it, put it, so that you will get a sample color, how it looks. No need to color entire the image. So you can just, it is nothing but like a filler. This eyedropper tool is like a filler. So you know filler, right? For medicine, small children, they give the medicine. So in that, you can just take some 2 drops in it, and you can just put it on the image to see whether it's look nice or not. Because if you color whole image, then sometimes the image might lost in the back, or it may not be able to recover back. So what we should do, we will take some 2 drops and we'll just put it on the image to see whether the image looks nice or not. Next is the type tool. This, you know, we're going to type the text using this tool. This tool is used to create text inside the Photoshop between the photos. So it can be a horizontal tool or it can be a vertical tool. So you can write like this or you can write towards the down. So it depends on how the image is and what you're going to write in between the image. Next is color modes and the image adjustment. So this is a very important factor here. So we have got to adjust the image because sometimes the image won't be nice while clicking. So we have got to adjust this. So color mode is the different intensities of light at different frequencies. So you can see a grayscale mode. Hope everyone have taken the photographs in grayscale also. Uses different shades of gray in an image. See, this is the image, and using the gray scale it looks like a black and white image. So adjust color using level. So there are some levels, so you can adjust the colors depending upon the level. So if you want a high level, that is if I want to give an example, if it is from 1 to 5, 5 will be very high, 1 will be very low. So in mid, if you want a image to be in the medium, then you have to choose either 3 or you have to choose 2. So if it also becomes 4, then it is also high. So if it is 1 or 2, then it is low. So you can choose 3 because it comes in between. The color comes, the intensity of the color comes in between. Next is various ways of color adjustment. Shadow level adjustment, mid-tone adjustment and the highlights. You can just see in the image what are the things you can shadow level adjustment, then mid-tone and the highlights. So no need to get into the deeper. You can just know what are that. So brightness and the contrast. So adjust brightness and contrast in the photo. Then in the menu bar select image, adjustments and the brightness. Adjust the brightness slider to change the overall brightness of the image. So there is a slider here. You can change the brightness from the starting to the lower to the higher depending upon the image. And then you can change the contrast from the lower to the higher depending upon the image. If you give a auto, then it automatically takes the brightness and the contrast. No need for you to give the brightness and the contrast. It automatically takes the brightness and contrast. So I think in the nowadays the television, TV, they have the brightness and the contrast. So using a remote you can give the brightness and you can take the contrast. So these are all the things to see the image or the display properly. Click on OK. The adjustment will appear on the selected layer. Next is color balance. So you need to balance the color, which is very important. So then in Photoshop you can access the color balance adjustment option from any one of the following locations. In the adjustment panel, click on the color balance icon. Choose the layer or choose the part of the thing where you want to color balance it. New adjustment layer, color balance. Click on the OK, new layer dialog box will get open like this. So you can just see a dialog box like this. So there is a color level 0, it's a 0, 0, 0. You can make however you want. Then that is what I said in the last thing, that is 1 to 5. If I give the color in the form of 1 to 5, so 1 will be the lower and 5 will be the higher. So depending upon the color, you need to balance the color. So it can't be too bright to see, or it can't be too shady that we can't even see the image what it is. So next is magenta. Magenta should be in the middle, and then yellow should be in the middle, so that the image looks properly, looks differently. So these are the things we are going to balance the color. Next is the curves. To apply the curves adjustment, do one of the following. So this is curve adjustment. We are going to adjust the curve. So click on the curves adjustment panel, choose the layer, new adjustment layer, curves. Click on OK to the new layer box. So this was straight actually. We made it little bit curve. So the image looks little bit slanting, so that the image looks nicely. Nowadays all these things are there where we are going to enhance the photography. It should look like slanting, little bit curved way. So all these things we are going to process the image using all these tools. Next, curve option is used to adjust the entire tonal range of an image. So next is hue and saturation. Hue is nothing but the shade of an image, and saturation is the intensity. So hue and saturation lets you to adjust to the hue, saturation and lightness of the specific range of color in an image, or simultaneously adjust all colors in an image. So if you want a little shady way, then you can choose the hue, and if you want little bit intensity should be bright, high, then you can use the saturation. So all these are the different ways of attacking an image, or you can say different ways of processing an image however you want. So thank you. So be safe and healthy. Others exercises of this Adobe Photoshop textbook exercises will be posted in the group. So if you have any doubts regarding this chapter or any other chapter, you can feel free to ask me in the group. Anytime I'll be available. So if you have any doubts, you can just ask in the group, and please complete the textbooks exercises whatever it's given. If it is not clear also, you can just mention me. So try to read the chapter. You will understand better. You can also listen to my voice. Then both you can just read the textbook. It is very simple. So please complete the activities or exercises which is given, which will be posted in the group. Thank you.